Welcome to Daily Dreamer, the podcast that provides practical tips and insights to help you reach your biggest dreams. Tune in for daily doses of motivation, inspiration, and actionable advice to turn your aspirations into reality. Whether you're looking to find clarity, boost your confidence, or stay on track with your goals, Daily Dreamer is here to guide you every step of the way.
All right, let's dive in. You guys have sent in some really amazing stuff on manifestation. It seems like you're ready to make those dreams a reality.
Definitely a lot of interest in that.
For sure.
Yeah.
We've got Bob Proctor,
Yes.
Sadhguru,
Yeah.
Joe Dispenza, even Mel Robbins.
Yeah.
All looking at how we can manifest what we want in life.
Wow, what a lineup.
I know, right? And to top it off, we have a text on visualization techniques.
So
Yeah, we are going to unpack all of this.
It's such a fascinating mix of sources, and it really does show just how many different ways people think about this whole idea of manifestation. You know, we've got ancient wisdom, modern psychology, even some pretty unique personal techniques.
Exactly. So today we're going to explore all these different approaches, pull out the key techniques, and hopefully help you figure out which one you connect with the most.
Right.
By the end, you'll have a whole toolkit to actually start putting these ideas into action.
Sounds like a plan.
So where should we begin? How about we start with Sadhguru? One of his quotes really stood out to me when I was going through the material. He said, "What has not happened till now on this planet can happen tomorrow. Human beings are capable of making it happen tomorrow."
That's powerful.
Right. It's pretty inspiring.
It really is. He's basically saying anything is possible. We have the power to create what we want. I mean, remember that story he tells about the man who accidentally walks into paradise?
Oh, yeah?
And then he starts manifesting all this stuff?
He manifests like food and drinks.
Yeah, food, drinks, even ghosts.
Even ghosts, just through his thoughts.
Yeah, just with the power of his mind. It's wild, right?
It's crazy. It really makes you think about the power of our own minds. I mean, if this guy can accidentally manifest ghosts,
Right.
imagine what we can do when we're actually focused and intentional.
Exactly. And that's where Sadhguru's idea of the kalpavriksha or wishing tree comes in.
Oh, yeah, the wishing tree.
Yeah, he says that when we align the four dimensions of ourselves, our body, mind, emotions, and energy, our mind becomes this powerful wishing tree, like capable of manifesting our deepest desires.
Okay, wait, break that down a little. What does he mean by the four dimensions of ourselves?
Well, think of it like this. Your body is the physical, the vessel.
Right.
Your mind is the engine. It's doing the thinking. Your emotions are like the fuel, and energy is the driving force. When these four are working together in harmony, well, that's when the magic happens.
So it's not just thinking positive thoughts.
No, it's much more than that.
Right.
It's about creating this inner coherence where your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all moving in the same direction.
So it's about having that alignment on all these different levels.
Precisely.
Makes sense. So how do we actually start working towards that? What are some practical steps?
Well, Sadhguru really emphasizes practices like yoga, meditation, and conscious living. Basically, it's about becoming more aware of our thoughts and emotions, understanding how they impact our energy, and making choices that support our overall well-being.
So it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Like training your mind to be a manifesting machine.
You could say that.
And speaking of manifesting techniques,
Yeah.
let's move on to Bob Proctor. His method for attracting like a specific person into your life is super interesting. And it's not what you'd expect.
Right, you'd think it's all about visualizing the person, but
Yeah.
no.
It's not quite like that.
He actually says, don't focus on a specific face when you're visualizing. Focus on the qualities that you want in a partner instead of trying to force a particular person into your life.
Exactly. It's more about setting intention, letting go of how it will happen, and trusting the process.
Exactly. And, he's very clear about respecting other people's free will. It's not about manipulating anyone.
No mind control allowed.
It's about alignment.
This actually reminds me of the text on visualization techniques that you sent over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it talks about things like vision boards, guided meditations, and even this thing called the movie method.
Oh, I love that one. You basically create a detailed mental movie of, your ideal outcome.
Those are really good tools for bringing that intention to life, right?
Yeah. They really tap into the power of our imagination to shape our reality.
So how do these techniques actually work? What's going on in our brains when we visualize?
Well, it's amazing, really. When we visualize something vividly, our brains actually fire neurons in a similar way to when we experience that thing in real life.
Wow.
So we're essentially programming our subconscious minds to believe that what we're visualizing is possible, even likely.
That's so cool. So we tricking our brains into thinking it's already happening?
In a way, yeah.
Wow.
And that's why these techniques can be so powerful for changing our beliefs and actually attracting what we want. By repeatedly visualizing our desired outcomes, we're creating new neural pathways and strengthening our belief in their possibility.
So we're training our brains to believe it's possible.
Yeah.
But it's not just about that mental picture, is it?
You got it. And that brings us to Joe Dispenza.
Boy.
His work focuses on how important emotions are in the manifestation process.
Gotcha.
It's not enough to just think about what you want. You have to actually feel it as if it's already happened.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do you actually feel something that hasn't happened yet?
That's a great question. Dispenza talks about using mental rehearsal and emotional visualization. So it's not just picturing the outcome.
Right.
You actually immerse yourself in the scene.
Okay.
You imagine what it would feel like, sound like, and even smell like to be living that reality.
Wow, so it's a full-on sensory experience.
Exactly.
Wow.
And by really embodying those positive emotions, joy, gratitude, excitement, you're sending a powerful signal to the universe, like, hey, I'm ready for this.
It's almost like you're creating a magnetic pull.
Yeah, attracting those experiences to you.
I like that.
And this idea of unwavering belief, it actually connects back to what Sadhguru was saying about the simple-minded.
Okay.
Remember how he said that children often manifest things more easily?
Yeah.
Because they haven't developed all the doubts and limiting beliefs that, we tend to have as adults.
Yeah, he was saying that sometimes having that childlike faith can be a real advantage.
Exactly. It's about tapping into that pure belief that anything is possible.
So how do we get rid of those, doubts and limiting beliefs that are holding us back?
Well, it's a process. You have to first become aware of those negative thought patterns. And once you can identify them,
Okay.
you can start to challenge them and replace them with more empowering beliefs.
It's like instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you might say, I'm capable and deserving of success.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's about reframing those negative thoughts and creating a more positive inner dialogue. And the more you practice this, the more those new beliefs will become ingrained in your subconscious mind.
Okay. So we've got visualization, we've got emotions, we're working on our beliefs. But is there more? What about actually taking action?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Action is key. And this is where Dispenza's concept of inspired action comes in. He says it's important to take action that feels aligned and exciting rather than action that's driven by, fear or desperation.
So not like frantically applying for every job you can find.
Exactly. It's more about following those opportunities that really resonate with you, the ones that make you feel excited.
Gotcha.
It's about listening to your intuition and taking steps that feel good and right, not forced or out of alignment.
I see. And this kind of goes back to what Sadhguru was saying, right? About not letting our past experiences tell us what's possible.
It all connects. Manifestation is a holistic process involving our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions.
All right.
They all have to be working together in harmony.
So we're not just sitting back, visualizing, and hoping for the best.
No, not at all.
Okay.
We're actively creating the reality we want.
And sometimes the most inspiring action
Yeah.
isn't some big, grand gesture, but it's those small, consistent steps we take every day
Absolutely.
that are moving us closer to our goals.
Okay, I love this. We've got a lot of great stuff from Sadhguru, Bob Proctor, and Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
But I'm excited to talk about Mel Robbins because she brings something totally different to the table.
Yeah, her approach is really unique and surprisingly practical.
So remember how she talks about visualizing a friend or someone you admire achieving your goal?
Oh, yeah, I love that.
And then you imagine yourself stepping into their shoes?
Stepping into their shoes and feeling that success as your own.
That's a really powerful technique.
It is. And she even shares a story about how she used this technique to overcome her own self-doubt and achieve a major career breakthrough.
Yeah, I remember that. She talks about Martha Beck.
Right, Martha Beck, who's this successful author and life coach.
Yeah.
And she visualized Martha achieving her goals. And then she pictured herself stepping into Martha's shoes, experiencing that same level of success.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's super clever.
It's like it taps into the psychological phenomenon where it's often easier to believe in someone else's potential than our own,
It's so true. It's like we can see their strengths and their possibilities more clearly than we can sometimes see our own.
Yeah.
So by visualizing someone else achieving our goal, we're kind of getting around our own self-doubt and tapping into like a more expansive belief system.
Exactly. It's like a hack for our own minds. It opens us up to greater possibilities.
It's like we're borrowing their belief in themselves
Yeah.
and using it to launch ourselves forward.
I love that analogy.
It's pretty cool.
And it makes sense, right? Think about it. We often give so much encouragement and support to our friends and loved ones, but we struggle to give ourselves that same level of belief.
Yeah, it's like that saying, we're our own worst critics.
Exactly. Mel Robbins' technique helps break free from that self-criticism. It's about tapping into a more empowering and supportive mindset.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm definitely trying that one. So we've covered a lot. Visualization, emotions, beliefs, inspired action.
A lot of ground. Yeah.
It's like all of these different approaches are coming together to create this amazing toolkit for manifestation.
It is. It's all about finding what resonates with you and seeing what works best.
And you know what? It feels like we've been given this incredible map
Yeah.
showing us all these different routes to get where we want to go.
I like that.
And the journey itself is just as important as the destination, right?
Absolutely.
And this brings us to something that Sadhguru said.
Oh, yeah.
That's really thought-provoking. He asked, if everything and everybody that you have desired for, if all of that lands up in your house today, could you live with that?
Whoa.
That's a big question. He's really challenging us to think about what we're actually asking for, isn't he?
He is, because, it's easy to get caught up in wanting things like more money, a bigger house, the perfect partner.
Right.
But Sadhguru is pushing us to think deeper.
Yeah.
He wants us to consider, are we actually ready for what we think we want? And are those desires really aligned with what will truly make us happy?
So it's not just about getting what we want,
No.
but it's about becoming the kind of person who can handle having it all.
Exactly. It's about personal growth, self-awareness, and understanding what truly matters. Because sometimes what we think we want isn't really what we need.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into manifestation, I want to ask you, what stood out to you the most? Which technique are you most excited to try?
I think what really struck me is how each of these teachers emphasizes the power of our minds to shape our reality.
Yeah.
Whether it's Sadhguru's wishing tree, Proctor's focus on qualities, Dispenza's idea of emotional embodiment, or even Mel Robbins' visualization hack, they all come back to the idea that our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings have a direct impact on our lives.
It's almost like we're all walking around with magic wands.
Yeah.
But most of us don't realize we have them.
And learning how to use those wands, how to focus our intentions, cultivate positive emotions, and align our actions with our desires.
Right.
Well, that's the key to unlocking our full potential.
Couldn't agree more. This has been such an inspiring conversation, and I feel like I have so many new tools now
Me too.
to start putting these ideas into practice.
It's a good reminder that we're all co-creators of our own reality.
That's a good point. So as you go forward, remember to embrace the journey.
Yeah.
Be patient with yourself, stay curious, and trust the process.
And have fun.
Yeah,
Manifestation should be a joyful experience.
exactly.
Yeah.
We'll leave you with that final thought from Sadhguru. If everything you've ever desired landed in your house today, could you live with that?
That's a good one.
Take some time to reflect on that.
Yeah.
Think about what that means for you, what you're really looking to manifest in your life.
Great advice.
Happy manifesting.
Happy manifesting.
So we're training our brains to believe it's possible.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the mental picture, right?
Right. And that brings us to Joe Dispenza.
Okay.
His work really emphasizes how important emotions are
Okay.
in this whole manifestation process.
Gotcha.
Like, it's not enough to just think about what you want.
Yeah.
You have to actually feel it
Okay.
as if it's already happened.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do you feel something that hasn't actually happened yet?
That's the question, right? Dispenza talks about using things like mental rehearsal
Okay.
and emotional visualization.
Okay.
So instead of just picturing it,
Yeah.
you actually immerse yourself in the scene. Like, imagine what it would feel like, sound like, even smell like to be living that reality.
Wow. So it's like a full-on sensory experience.
Exactly.
Wow.
And by really embodying those positive emotions,
Yeah.
joy, gratitude, excitement,
Yeah.
you're sending a powerful signal to the universe.
Like, I'm ready.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm ready for this.
Yeah. It's almost like you're creating a magnetic pull.
Yeah, you're attracting those experiences.
I like that.
You know, this idea of unwavering belief actually connects back to what Sadhguru was saying about the simple-minded.
Right. Okay.
You know how he talked about how children manifest things more easily?
Yes.
Because they haven't developed all those doubts and limiting beliefs that we tend to pick up as adults.
Right, he was saying, like, sometimes that childlike faith is a real advantage.
Exactly. It's about tapping into that pure belief that anything is possible.
So how do we get rid of those doubts and limiting beliefs that hold us back?
Well, it's a process, for sure.
Okay.
First, you have to just become aware of those negative thought patterns.
Right.
Once you can identify them,
Yeah.
you can start to challenge them
Okay.
and replace them with beliefs that actually empower you.
So instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you might
Yeah.
say, I am capable and deserving of success.
Exactly. It's about changing the script, you know,
Okay.
creating a more positive inner dialogue for yourself. And the more you practice this, the more those new beliefs will become ingrained in your subconscious.
Okay, so we've got visualization, emotions, we're working on our beliefs, but is there more to it?
Yeah.
What about actually taking action?
You're absolutely right. Action is key.
Okay.
And this is where Dispenza's concept of inspired action comes in.
Okay.
He talks about how it's important to take action that feels aligned and exciting,
Okay.
rather than action that's driven by fear or desperation.
So not like frantically applying for every job you can find.
Exactly. It's more about following those opportunities that really resonate with you,
Right.
the ones that make you feel excited.
Yeah.
You know, pay attention to your intuition and take steps that feel good.
Mm.
And, right, not forced or out of alignment.
I see. And this kind of goes back to what Sadhguru was saying about not letting our past experiences limit what we think is possible.
Absolutely. It all connects.
Yeah.
Manifestation is a holistic process. Our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions. They all need to be working together
Right.
in harmony.
So we're not just sitting around visualizing and hoping for the best.
No, not at all.
We're actively creating the reality that we want.
Exactly. And sometimes, you know, the most inspiring action
Yeah.
isn't some big, grand gesture,
Right.
but it's those small, consistent steps that we take every day
Yeah.
that move us closer to our goals.
Okay, I love this. We've got so much good stuff from Sadhguru, Bob Proctor, Joe Dispenza,
So much.
but I'm really excited to talk about Mel Robbins
Oh, yeah.
because she brings something totally different to the table.
Yes. Her approach is so unique and surprisingly practical.
Remember how she talks about visualizing a friend or someone you admire achieving your goal,
Oh, yeah. I love that one.
and then you imagine yourself stepping into their shoes?
Yeah, stepping into their shoes and feeling that success
Yes.
as your own.
It's such a powerful technique.
It is. And, you know, she shares her own story about how she used this technique to overcome self-doubt and achieve a major career breakthrough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that. She talks about Martha Beck.
Yes. Martha.
This successful author and life coach.
Yes.
And she visualized Martha achieving her goals.
Mhm.
And then she pictured herself stepping into Martha's shoes and experiencing that same success.
Brilliant.
It's so clever.
It's like it taps into this psychological phenomenon
Yeah.
where it's often easier to believe in someone else's potential than our own.
So true. It's like we can see their strengths and their possibilities so clearly.
Yeah.
But sometimes we can't see our own.
Right.
So by visualizing someone else achieving our goal, we're kind of bypassing our own self-doubt and tapping into like a bigger belief system.
Exactly. It's like we're hacking our minds
Yeah.
to open ourselves up to more possibilities.
It's like we're borrowing their belief in themselves
Yes.
and using it to launch ourselves forward.
I love that analogy.
That's pretty cool.
And it makes sense, right? Think about how quick we are to offer encouragement and support to our friends. But then we struggle to give ourselves that same belief.
Yeah, it's like we're our own worst critics.
Exactly. So Mel Robbins' technique is a powerful way to break free from all that self-criticism
Yeah.
and tap into a more supportive mindset.
Okay, I'm sold. Definitely trying that one.
That's a good one.
So we've covered so much visualization, emotions, beliefs, inspired action.
A lot of ground, yeah.
It's like all these different approaches are coming together
Yeah.
to create this incredible toolkit for manifestation.
It's all about finding what works for you
Yeah.
and experimenting.
Yeah, it feels like we've been given this amazing map.
A map.
Yeah, like showing us all these different ways to get to where we want to go.
I like that.
And it's not just about the destination though, right?
Right.
The journey is important too.
Absolutely.
And this brings us back to something Sadhguru said that I found really thought-provoking. He asked, If everything and everybody that you have desired for, if all of that lands up in your house today, could you live with that?
That's a good one.
It's a big question.
Yeah.
He's really making us think about what we're asking for.
He is. It's so easy to get caught up in wanting things, like more money, a bigger house, the perfect partner.
Yeah, for sure.
But Sadhguru is pushing us to go a little deeper.
Right.
He wants us to think about, are we really ready for what we think we want? And are those desires really going to make us happy?
So it's not just about getting what we want,
No.
but becoming the kind of person who can handle it all.
Exactly. It's about personal growth, self-awareness, understanding what really matters. Because sometimes what we think we want isn't actually what we need.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into manifestation, I want to ask you, what stood out to you most? What are you most excited to try?
I think what really struck me was how much all of these teachers emphasize the power of our minds to actually shape our reality.
Right.
Whether it's Sadhguru's wishing tree or Proctor's focus on qualities, Dispenza's idea of emotional embodiment, or even Mel Robbins' visualization hack, they all come back to this idea that our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are really powerful, and they have a direct impact on our lives.
It's almost like we're all walking around with these magic wands. But we don't realize we have them.
Yeah, and learning how to use those wands.
Yeah.
How to focus our intentions, how to cultivate positive emotions, align our actions with our desires. That's the key to unlocking our true potential.
I couldn't agree more. This has been such a great conversation.
It has.
And I feel like I have so many new tools to try out.
Me too. It's a good reminder that we are all co-creators of our own reality.
Yeah, that's a good point. So for everyone listening, remember to embrace the journey.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Be patient with yourself, stay curious, and trust the process.
And most importantly, have fun.
Yes. Manifestation should be a joyful experience. So we'll leave you with that final thought from Sadhguru. If everything you've ever desired landed in your house today, could you live with that? Take some time to really think about what that means to you.
Yeah.
And what you truly want to manifest in your life.
Great advice.
Happy manifesting, everyone.
Happy manifesting.